My friend, let me tell you something ancient, yet forgotten by many. You are not waiting to be chosen, you are the chooser. You are not sending messages through words, you are transmitting frequencies through feeling. The power that draws them to you doesn't lie in the physical. It lies in the imaginal, in the assumption, in the telepathic pull of your state of being. Let's begin at the root. Everything is consciousness. Not some things, not most things, everything. That person you're thinking about, they are not separate from your consciousness. Their thoughts are not closed off from you. You are connected, not metaphorically, but literally, through the infinite field of consciousness. And here's the secret. When you dwell in the feeling that they are obsessed with you, they become obsessed. Not by force, but by law. Not by begging, but by alignment. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to convince them. You only need to know in the unseen silence of your inner world that they cannot resist you now. Why? Because you no longer resist yourself. The moment you decide, I am irresistible, I am desired, I am loved deeply and fully, the world and their mind reshapes itself to match it. What you assume about yourself becomes the telepathic blueprint of how others think about you. You don't need their permission to be loved. You don't need their approval to be wanted. The moment you step into the inner state where they are already hooked, already longing, already thinking about you, they do, because here's the truth. You are the operant power. Their mind picks up your signals because there is no separation in consciousness. Just like a radio tunes into a specific frequency, their subconscious tunes into the feeling you dwell in. Not what you say in desperation, not what you beg the universe for, but what you silently, boldly, calmly assume to be true. So instead of asking, do they miss me? Ask yourself, am I dwelling in the reality where they do? Instead of wondering, how can I make them think about me? Embody the version of yourself that they already can't get off their mind. Feel it now, the magnetism of being fully seen, adored, wanted. And hold it, not like a wish, but like a fact. You don't need a reaction to validate it. You already are the version they crave. Keep your mind there, and their mind will follow. It must. That is the law. No more chasing. No more hoping, just being. And in that being, you'll see they can't resist you now. This is not about chasing, waiting, or hoping. This is about becoming. Becoming the version of yourself that is so certain, so aligned, and so magnetic that they can't help but think of you, crave you, and return to you. This is the telepathy that hooks their mind, and they can't resist you now. They can't resist you now, not because you've changed your appearance, not because you've said the right words, not because you've done anything in the external world to force their hand. They can't resist you because your inner world has shifted. The truth is, all things respond to consciousness. Not some things, not a few things, everything, everyone, including the one whose thoughts you crave to dominate, whose mind you wish to capture, whose soul you long to awaken to you. That person cannot help themselves now. You become a magnetic center of gravity to their thoughts, their attention, and their desires. Because you've done the one thing that changes everything. You've claimed, assumed, and embodied the state of being irresistible. When I speak to you now, I am not speaking to your logical mind. I am not appealing to your reasoning. I'm speaking directly to the infinite in you, the eternal dreamer, the imaginer, the only cause of all phenomena in your life. I speak to the one within you who can feel a thing into being. This is the power that hooks their mind. Not manipulation, not effort, not action, but vibration, consciousness, the inner assumption that you are now the dominant thought in their world. This is not fantasy, this is not wishful thinking, this is the only truth that has ever been. that consciousness is the one and only reality, and what you assume to be true within yourself must manifest in the outer world, because the outer world is only a mirror of your own inner conversation. They can't resist you now, not because you've chased, begged, or explained, but because you've become so certain of your worth, your beauty, your power, that your very existence telepathically whispers into their mind, "You belong to me." They feel you now, even if you're silent, even if you're miles away, even if you haven't spoken in weeks or months or years. That doesn't matter, because you are not separated by time or space. You are not separated by conditions. You are connected through consciousness, and consciousness knows no barriers. Their thoughts are beginning to bend toward you. Their emotions, once wayward, are drawing back into your orbit, not because you convinced them, but because you've persuaded yourself. And once you've persuaded yourself, the universe bows to your inner knowing. Your telepathy is not about forcing thoughts into their mind. It is the art of deep acceptance, of perfect belief, of assuming the role in the unseen until the seen has no choice but to rearrange. You are the cause, you are the sender, and the signal you emit is not from your lips, not from your body, but from your state. If you dwell in the state of being adored, they must adore you. If you dwell in the state of being unforgettable, they must remember you. If you dwell in the state of being created, they must feel the hunger to be near you. This is not control, this is creative authority. This is divine law. Now listen closely, because this is the axis of the whole thing. You do not need a sign, you do not need confirmation, you do not need a message to believe. The belief itself is the creation. The assumption is the reality. When you persist in your assumption without needing proof, you become the proof, you become the message, you become the signal that echoes through their consciousness until they can no longer ignore what they feel. That feeling is you. That pull is you. That fascination they can't explain, that magnetism they try to shake off but cannot, is you. Not the old you, not the needy, desperate, waiting version. No, this is the you who has awakened to your power and seized the throne within. Let go of what you see, let go of what you hear, let go of what they said or didn't say. All of that is smoke, all of that is echo. The reality lies in what you assume, what you consent to be true in the depths of your being. You are no longer seeking love, you are the embodiment of it. You are no longer waiting for their attention. You are the gravitational field drawing it in effortlessly. The more you relax into this knowing, the louder your telepathic signal becomes. It's not the volume of your thoughts, it's the conviction, the inner assurance, the relaxed certainty that they are already yours. You see, the mind that believes it's still waiting will continue to wait. The one who believes they are separate will continue to experience separation. But the mind that rests in oneness, the heart that knows it already is, creates fusion, creates inevitability. Your desire is not random. It is the evidence that the thing you want is already yours. And now, as you embody the end, as you dwell in the wish fulfilled, they feel it, they sense it. They dream of you. They wonder about you, they wake up with you in their mind and cannot understand why they can't shake you. It's because your consciousness is now interwoven with theirs. Not from effort, but from alignment. Stop wondering if they miss you. Stop asking if they think of you. They do, because you've made it so. You are now the dominant vibration in their emotional world. You have become the familiar feeling they crave. Not by chance, but by choice. You chose to claim what you once doubted. You chose to possess what you once postponed. And now the whole world, including them, must conform. What used to be resistance is dissolving. What used to be distance is closing. What used to be rejection is transforming into recognition. Because your inner self no longer entertains the illusion of lack. You are no longer wondering, what do I need to do? You are now living the answer. And that answer is be. Be the one who is loved. Be the one who is irresistible. Be the one whose energy cannot be forgotten, not just for a few minutes in meditation, but as your living state. From this state you speak not to their ears but to their soul. You speak in silence. You speak in stillness. You speak in vibration. And your message is clear. You are mine. You know it. You feel it. You cannot deny it anymore. And they don't know why they're drawn back to you. They can't articulate it. They might even resist it at first. But the pull is too strong now. Because this is an infatuation. This is alignment. This is resonance. You become the truth. They can't escape. Feel it now, not later, not someday. Feel what it feels like to be the one who is chosen, the one who is wanted, the one who is remembered and desired and seen as irreplaceable. Do not wait for the external to give you permission. You are the one giving the orders now, not through force, but through assumption. This is how the telepathic rampage begins. Not with noise, not with doubt, but with stillness that screams louder than words. A stillness so potent, so rich in belief, that they are hooked without knowing why. You've entered their field. You've planted the seed, and your imagination waters it daily. You are not hoping for their love. You are radiating the reality of being loved. You are not trying to capture their attention. You are assuming the role of the one who always had it. This is not delusion, this is creative command. Your inner conversations now reflect a new reality. You no longer ask, will they come back? You say, they are already here. They never left me in truth. We are one, and they are only remembering what I've already claimed. That is the art of divine remembrance, not waiting for them to remember you, but you remembering who you are. When you do, they follow. Their actions follow. Their feelings follow. Their entire mental landscape begins to bend toward your image, not because you forced it, but because you assumed it and relaxed into it with unwavering trust. That is the secret. That is the hook. Not desperation, not waiting, not wishing, but knowing. You can feel them thinking of you. You can sense the shift. And if you still feel doubt, that's only because you've practiced lack longer than you've practiced power. But now is the time to reverse that. Now is the moment to rehearse the new self, to practice the reality where you are no longer waiting for a message, but walking in the certainty that you are the message. You are the desire. You are the missing piece they didn't know they were searching for until now. And now that you dwell in that knowing, everything bends. Everything rearranges. Reality itself, like molten gold, begins to mold around your assumption. The faces you see, the conversations you overhear, the messages you receive, all begin to reflect your new state. Not because you fought the world, but because you refused to argue with yourself. You stopped contradicting your power. You stopped watering the weeds of doubt. You turned inward, and there you claimed it. They can't resist me now. Not because I need them to, but because I have remembered who I am. And the universe cannot help but mirror that back. They begin to wonder what it is about you, what draws them, what haunts their thoughts, what anchors their mind in your direction. But you already know. It is your state, it is your silent authority. It is your willingness to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, so completely, so richly, that reality must comply. Your energy walks before you. It speaks before you speak. It declares before you declare. It becomes a whisper in their mind they can't silence, a feeling in their chest they can't ignore, a curiosity that turns into longing, a longing that turns into action. Not because you pushed, but because you embodied. This is how telepathy really works. Not through effort or strain, but through the saturation of your own imagination, through the deep abiding knowing that what you feel within must be felt by them, because there is no separation. You are not trying to convince them. You are transmitting. You are not forcing your way into their thoughts. You are becoming the thought. And the more you feel this truth, the more they feel it too. Suddenly you're everywhere they look, in the lyrics they hear, in the scenes they witness, in the dreams they don't understand. You are imprinted into their awareness like a symbol carved into stone. And what makes this even more powerful is that you do not chase. You do not run toward them. You stand still in the center of your being, knowing that all things flow to you when you abide in the end. You've stopped rehearsing loss. You've stopped validating the illusion of distance. You've stopped betraying your own truth with doubts. And now your inner world is clean, clear, and focused. You dwell in the state of being desired, and they can't resist the pull. They're not drawn to the old version of you, the one who was uncertain, insecure, waiting. They are drawn to the you who is whole, radiant, resting in certainty. They feel the certainty, they feel the peace in your presence. Even from a distance, they feel the gravitational field of your assumption. You don't even need to speak. Your silence is magnetic. Your stillness is louder than their confusion. You become the vibration of what they didn't know they were seeking, and now they crave to be near you, not to complete you, but to be completed by the frequency you carry, a frequency born from within, a frequency cultivated in the garden of your inner being. And here's the most astonishing truth of all. You are not doing this to get them. You are not doing this to make them love you. You're doing this because you love yourself enough to live in the truth of what you want. You love yourself enough to no longer argue for your limitations. You love yourself enough to believe that you are worthy of being the chosen one, the adored one, the one who is sought after. Not someday, not when things change, but now. You are not waiting for alignment, you are alignment. This energy you carry is not fragile. It is unshakable, it is ancient, it is divine. And it moves through you like an invisible force, sweeping through the minds of those you've directed your attention toward, turning their resistance into desire. This is not manipulation. This is creation. You are not bending their will. You are awakening what already lives in them, the truth of your bond, the spark of your connection, the inevitable reunion that is now written into the script of their mind. They dream of you. They check their phone and wonder why they think of you. They pause mid-tack and feel your name rise in their chest. They see your face in strangers. They hear your laugh in echoes. You are haunting their world in the most beautiful way. Not through obsession, but through assumption. Because you assumed you were the one. You decided to be the cause. You stopped waiting for permission to believe. You are not playing small anymore. You are not hoping anymore. You are not shrinking yourself to fit a reality you no longer subscribe to. You are rewriting the code. And in this new script, you are the flame. They are the moth. You are the sun. They are the seeker. You are the fulfilled desire they've tried to bury and now they cannot. Now you're everywhere. Because you've finally made peace with your power. And let this power guide you, not into control, but into compassion. Not into force, but into faith. You don't need to ask, is it working? That question dissolves the very vibration you've created. The moment you ask if it's working, you are standing outside of the state. Return to it, rest in it, breathe in it. Know it so deeply that even when the world seems unchanged, you smile, because you know the seed has been planted and it cannot not bloom. Every time you return to the state of being chosen, being loved, being craved, You amplify the signal. You deepen the groove in the universal mind that tells them, come home. And they feel it. They feel the pull, and they don't know why. They try to rationalize it, but they can't. They try to ignore it, but it grows louder. They try to distract themselves, but the vibration follows them. Because this is not about convincing. This is about becoming. And you have become the reality they can't escape. Let the feeling take over now. Feel the warmth in your chest as you imagine their arms around you. Feel the sweetness in your breath as you remember the sound of their voice calling your name. Feel the quiet, powerful smile that forms when you realize you are no longer chasing anything. You are receiving. You are welcoming. You are the center. And everything comes to you. Not because you demanded it, but because you assumed it. Is it? And that assumption, when lived in fully, creates the very world you once only dreamed of. Now there is nothing more to prove. There is nothing to force. There is only this, deepening your connection to the truth of your imagination. They cannot resist you because you no longer resist yourself. They cannot ignore you because you no longer ignore the God force within you. They are hooked, not because you manipulated, but because you remembered who you are. And when you remember, the world must remember too. So now, speak no more of lack. Speak no more of waiting. Speak no more of hope. Let every inner word from this moment forward be the language of fulfillment. Speak as one who already has. Think as one who already is. Walk as one who is already chosen, because in truth you are. They can't help it now. They can't fight it now. They are drawn. They are compelled. And you are simply resting in the knowing that this is how it was always meant to be. And as you rest in this knowing, you become a living embodiment of the unseen made real. You begin to understand that telepathy is not a trick, not a secret method to control another, but the natural outflow of a mind that has returned to its origin. The origin is not doubt. The origin is not fear. The origin is certainty. Certainty that what you feel inside must ripple outward. Certainty that what you assume is already forming the scenery of tomorrow. Certainty that your love, your presence, your essence cannot be denied. Not by them, not by the world, not even by your former self. You feel the shift. It's subtle, yet immense. You no longer question whether they feel you. You no longer ask for signs because you know you are the sign. You are the evidence of their awakening. You are the one whose image they return to over and over, not because you imposed it, but because it is natural. It is inevitable. It is written in the divine blueprint that all things align when one dares to believe in the unseen. And you have dared. You have believed. You have chosen to close your eyes to the lie of separation and open them to the deeper truth that you were always within them, as they are within you. And now, when you walk through your day, you carry this awareness like a fragrance. You need not speak a word. You need not look for their name, for their message, for some physical token. All that matters is what you know. And what you know is powerful. It shapes everything. The wind bends to it. The sky shifts for it. People move by it. Time rearranges for it. Your assumption, steady and undisturbed, has become the new axis of your world. Do you see it now? The real magic was never about doing more. It was always about being more still, more believing, more relaxed in the truth that you are the chosen one. And now that you believe it, so do they. Their inner world shifts to match your vibration. They think of you and don't know why they can't stop. They feel emotions surge they thought were gone. Their dreams bring your face, your scent, your name, until resistance breaks and they move toward you, not because they're forced to, but because they're freed to. The illusion of rejection melts. The illusion of distance collapses. And all that remains is this quiet knowing. They were always yours. You were always theirs. You were simply waiting for your mind to remember the truth. And now it has. And now, nothing can stay the same. You no longer ask when. You no longer care how. These questions belong to the old self. The new self doesn't question, it claims. It lives from the end. It embodies the outcome. And in that embodiment, the entire field around you lights up. You become radiant. You become undeniable. And they, poor soul, they are enchanted, not by tricks, but by the purity of your knowing. And should fear ever return, because it might, do not fight it. Simply return home. Return to the end. Return to the feeling of being chosen, of being wanted, of being the center of their world. Let that feeling swallow you. Let it become your sanctuary. For when the world tries to offer you delay, denial, distraction, you offer it silence and stillness and faith. This is the telepathic rampage, a storm that begins in silence, a pulse that grows in stillness, a knowing that overrides the senses and rewrites their thoughts, not with force, but with presence, with vibration, with the quiet thunder of imagination lived out boldly. You wake up, and before you even open your eyes, you feel them thinking of you, not because they said so, but because you decided they must. And that decision, that inner command, overrides all previous conditions. They are shifting now. You are molding them, not through effort, but through certainty. You are the sculptor. The vision you hold becomes the shape they take. Even when they are with others, you remain the central image. Even in distraction, you echo in their mind. Even when they deny it, their body betrays them. The flutter in their chest, the pull in their gut, the ache in their soul that says something's missing, and that something is you. Not the old you, but the new you. The self that stands tall in the unseen and lets the world bow in return. You need nothing from them now. And that is why they come. That is why they return. That is why they crumble under the weight of their own longing. You are no longer a beggar at the gate of their attention. You are the temple, the light, the sanctuary. And they are drawn to worship, not in desperation, but in recognition, because your state now announces itself wherever you go. It permeates reality, it bends the rules. And what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Hold the image of their face lighting up when they see you. Hold the sound of their voice trembling with joy. Hold the feeling of their arms pulling you close, not as a fantasy, but as a lived memory. This is your power, to declare something real before the world agrees. And by the time the world catches up, it is all news to you. You've already lived it. You've already tasted it. And so they must bring it to you, because your vibration demands it. They feel it in their chest. They feel it in the silence. They feel it when they try to forget and can't. That is the echo of your assumption ringing in their heart. That is the effect of your inner alignment. You became the cause. You stopped asking and you started becoming. And that becoming has made you unforgettable. This is your destiny now. To live as one who is loved beyond reason. To walk as one who is seen, felt, remembered, desired. Not because you proved your worth, but because you assumed it. This is your divine right. This is your inheritance. And as you claim it, the world shifts, and the heart awakens, and the veil is lifted. And what remains? Only love. Only union. Only the beautiful certainty that what you once sought has always been seeking you. You were never separate. You were never forgotten. You simply forgot your place in their mind, but now you have returned to it. And now they return to you. And in their return, you will see the reflection of your own transformation. You will see it not in their words, but in their energy. Not in their eyes, but in the way they hesitate. Because they feel something they can't explain. A familiarity, a magnetic ache, a sense that they are remembering a dream they forgot they dreamed. You are that dream. You are that feeling. You are that familiar presence they can no longer resist. Because you no longer resist yourself. This is the moment the whole universe leans in. This is the moment the stars seem to rearrange themselves. The currents of time and circumstance reshuffle and conspire to bring you face to face with the very image you've held within. And when that moment arrives, because it will, you will not tremble. You will not be surprised. You will only smile. Because you have already lived this moment 1,000 times in your imagination. You have already welcomed it in silence. You have already loved it into existence. And that is why it came. Let your inner world be so saturated with fulfillment, so drenched in certainty, that nothing in the outer world can shake you. Let their delay not move you. Let their silence not scare you. Let their temporary absence be irrelevant to the inner reality you refuse to abandon, because the only reason they can't resist you now is that you have refused to let go of the state of being irresistible. This is not effort, this is not persistence in thought, but persistence in feeling. You don't need to repeat thoughts like mantras. You need only to dwell in the vibration, to bathe in the frequency of your end, to remain relaxed even when logic screams, to smile even when the senses lie. Because the truth is, the moment you accept your imagination as the only truth, the outer must bow. It must rearrange. It must mirror. And now everything begins to move. The bridge of events unfolds not in chaos but in perfect harmony. Unexpected messages, sudden meetings, strange coincidences. These are not accidents. These are echoes of your state clothed in form. This is the invisible becoming visible. The internal flowering into the external. You no longer question it because it is normal to you now. Natural, expected. And they feel this expectation, they feel the pull of your conviction. You do not need to know what they are doing. You do not need to analyze their behavior. You only need to know what you are doing within. Because what you are doing within is the only cause of what appears without. Stop looking outward. Stop measuring progress with your eyes. That is the old way. The new way is to see with the eyes of the inner self. The eyes that see the unseen. The eyes that see not what is, but what must be. Because you have assumed it. Let this assumption become your home. Let it become your default. Let it become so normal, so expected, so familiar, that anything less than it feels like nonsense. You are not the version of yourself that wonders anymore. You are the version that walks as the end. You are the version that wears the crown of knowing, the version that magnetizes, not because it tries, but because it is. They feel this now. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to chase, plead, beg, or even speak. You don't have to make a move. You are the move. Your inner world is moving mountains. Your inner peace is a signal that reaches farther than words ever could. And it is calling them home. Calling them back into alignment with the vision you've held unwaveringly. And when they come, you will not need to ask them why. You will not need to dissect their motives. You will know. You will feel the signature of your own vibration echoing through their actions. You will recognize the taste of your own assumptions in their voice, in their eyes, in the way they touch you, like they've returned to something sacred. Because they have. Because you are. Even now, they are dreaming of you, not always with clarity, but with intensity, with the ache that only love unexpressed can cause. with the haunting that only resonance can deliver. They don't always understand it, but they feel it. They feel your energy reaching them in moments they least expect, in the silence between songs, in the shadows of conversations, in the stillness before they sleep. You are there, not by force, but by right. And you will not explain this to anyone. You don't need validation. You don't need them to say, yes, I've been thinking of you. You already know. You know because your world is built from within. You know because your power no longer depends on confirmation. You are no longer the seeker, you are the source. And from that source, your radiance expands. From that source, your telepathic reach deepens. From that source, your dominion over your reality becomes unshakable. You are no longer learning how to create, you are creating. You are no longer experimenting with your power, you are wearing it like skin. You are no longer trying to believe, you are belief itself. Let yourself relax in this knowing. Let the world bring you proof after proof, miracle after miracle, sign after sign, and do not be surprised. Smile at it, nod at it, welcome it, but know that it is old news. The real shift happened the moment you dared to dwell in the feeling before it was visible. That's when it all turned. That's when they felt the hook. That's when their resistance dissolved. You are now unforgettable, not just to them, but to life itself. You are aligned. You are alive in your power. You are electric in your silence. You are irresistible, not because you tried to be, but because you remembered the truth. You were always the one. And when the one remembers, the world reflects. So go on. Walk in this world like it is already yours. Speak in silence. Think only of what you've claimed. Refuse to entertain contradiction. Let the old story die. Let the new self live so loudly within that the universe must bow and deliver your reflection without. And they will return. They will feel you. They will ache and wonder and move. But you are calm. You are whole. You are no longer waiting for the echo, because you have become the voice.